We are so lucky today because right as we are talking about seasons in winter, it has begun to snow. I hope you can see the snow as it comes down. And this is a perfect time for us to talk about seasons. So why do we have seasons? Anybody know? I will explain it very simply. We have seasons because the earth rotates around our energy source, the sun. And as it rotates on its axis around the sun in a whole year, it causes the sunlight to hit the earth differently, which creates yearly changes in our climate, which we know as seasons. Now, what is the invisible line in the middle of the earth called? This is a big vocabulary word. If you guessed the equator, you're right. So everything north of the equator is in the northern hemisphere. And right now, those of us in the north are experiencing winter. And it's so beautiful as the snow falls down. But what's happening south of the equator in the southern hemisphere? They're experiencing summer. It's a very magical part of being on planet Earth. So does anybody know any countries that might be experiencing summer right now? Those are like Colombia, Peru. They are enjoying summer. So there are a few important markers I want to tell you about in our calendar year. They are called the solstices and the equinoxes, and those help us know the cycles of our seasons. So let's talk about the winter and summer solstice. The winter solstice is when we have the most amount of darkness. So those are when we have our shortest days and our longest nights. And that's the winter solstice. Whereas the summer solstice is when we have the most amount of sunlight and the least amount of darkness. Now on the equinoxes, those happen in the spring and the fall. And that's when we have equal equinox amounts of sunlight and darkness. And these have been celebrated since humans have been on Earth to understand the cycles of our seasons. And even the indigenous people here in Chicago, before the European settlers came, had very special ceremonies and rituals for these special days, the solstices and the equinoxes.